and us back right after this timeout.
On Raceway Park, and I'm standing actually outside the track. In fact, we have a lousy view of the race. In fact, anybody back in the pits over to my left also has a lousy view. But if you look way over there, that's the area that they've set aside for all the crew chiefs and the spotters. You remember Mike Skinner talked about how the spotter would play a key role? Well, that's where they're doing all their work from. That's the only place they can really see the race.
You have company back there in the pits, Marty, because during this yellow, right at the tail end of the yellow, Butch Gilliland, who is in fact the track record holder here, went to the pits. He qualified badly, 15th in the starting grid, but he apparently has a problem and has taken the Ultra Wheels truck off the racetrack. So we'll come back for the restart here, and Skinner will be back out front trying to hold on to what he was able to get. Are they going to go this time? I think they're going to go one more round, and that will give me the opportunity to complete my introduction of the guy named Carr, who ironically started the truck race. It was Kevin Carr, the Sears store manager from Farmington, New Mexico, won a customer support competition to get the honor to drop the flag. And I'm going back to make a big deal out of this because Kevin is a big fan of Saturday Night Thunder and therefore deserves to get a proper mention on our television program. We are just about a quarter lap away from the restart. What do you think? Skinner going to jump him again like he did the last time?
Looks like he has. I don't know what the gearing they have in their transmission, but it's awful good. There's a lot of smoke come out of Skinner's truck.
You bet. We'll keep a close eye on that. Oh, he's in trouble. Well, it was tire smoke, isn't it?
Nah, it's coming out the pipes.
No, it couldn't be. He's slowing down. Yeah, there we go. Couldn't imagine that he was slipping and sliding around like that. That'll give us a new leader, and I wonder if he's going to get through the traffic without problems. The truck has slowed dramatically, but he's keeping his hoof in it as best he can.
That's definitely coming out the pipes. You can see it right there. It's hard to say. Maybe they cracked the piston or something. I'm sure those guys will work awfully hard to try to figure out what it is. They need to get him back out for those points.
The guys behind him are going to work awfully hard to not be behind him very long. That was number 83, Portengay, trying to get around. He's going to the pits. A lot of smoke, and back in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, Richard Childress slaps his forehead and says, how can this be? Meanwhile, Ernie Irvin says, terrific. Bye, guys. Leading. There is Skinner's truck, the Goodwrench black number 3. Such familiar colors in NASCAR racing. In trouble here today. Marty's there. Marty?
Well, we're going to stick our microphone in here, see if we can get a word with Mike. What happened out there, Mike? What's wrong?
I missed a shift on the restart, blew the motor up.
Well, that's about as succinct as you can put it. So Mike Skinner, unfortunately, has taken himself out.
A man taking responsibility for his own actions. You cannot knock that. Skinner says, hey, I missed a shift. Nothing else to say. Number 21 in trouble is Toby Butler. The Ortho Lawn and Garden Care Products Ford has slapped the wall. Gets her refired, but he's got big damage on the left front.
He sure has. Them guys are going to have to really work hard to get the... Looks like the left rear quarter there is all up against the tire, and the left front's kind of beat in a little bit. He's moving, though.
He's going to do his best to get her rolling. Going to get a great paint job on that truck, and we're going to get a quick look at how it happened here. Let's see.
It's hard to tell if he had any help there. You know, going off on these turns here, the trucks get awful loose, and if you just get a little tap and get a little help, you know, things going to turn around on you.
Toby Butler had an eye-opening experience at Phoenix, the opening race of this series. He finished 25th there. He drives for Jim Venable. Jim Venable is one of the guys who helped create this series. He's a legend in off-road racing. He's made a fortune flying airplanes, tanker planes that put out fires, basically, forest fires. He makes a lot of money here in California, obviously. Well, they went to Phoenix thinking, yeah, this is going to be a pretty big deal. Venable was involved in creating the series, designed the first super truck. But when it came to putting a team together, it was kind of an afterthought effort because he's basically into off-road racing. They built the truck at the off-road shop, showed up in Phoenix and said, hey, this thing is serious. And they've hired about 20 people, and they're building all new trucks. Now, you pointed out during the break that there's some damage on this number 16. That's Hornaday. Looks like he's dinged the front a little bit.
Exactly. Not sure exactly what happened there, but there is some damage on the right front. It doesn't look to be a big problem, but I'm sure at halfway those guys will attend to that.
Having just seen Bristol last weekend in the Winston Cup cars, here's Skinner out of the competition. Having just seen Bristol and anticipating North Wilkes and comparing it with what we have here, I mean, bent fenders on the bull rings, that's just part of the deal.
That's part of it. It's a body man's nightmare.
Well, they're going to probably not be many straight panels left when this is over. Here is the number 21, most recent to be damaged. Toby Butler comes out of the Northwest, had a pretty successful string of victories and career successes in track championships up there, and then went south, as so many guys do, down to try to forge a career in Winston Cup racing. And I think that he thinks that this truck deal may be his home. We're ready for the green. It flies, and Ruttman goes to the front. We're back underway here.
Morgan trying to get down to the bottom. Couldn't quite make the pass there. You know, his tires were good and cool. He wanted to try him maybe once. I think now he'll sit in there behind him. Ah.
Shows what you know.
Yeah, exactly. He's going for it.
Yeah, side by side. We've seen a lot of that today.
The boss back home was told him to dash the button.
Yeah, you bet. Get the pedal down, and he does it. He drives right around Ruttman on the inside. Bent up or not, that truck is handling.
It sure is. I don't think here the aerodynamics really make that big a difference. You know, they can knock the hood and the fenders off. As long as the tires are going straight, they're going to be fine.
Let's give a call to number 75 because he's also on the move, and that's Bill Sedgwick. Bill can't make up his mind whether he's a crew chief or a race car driver, and he's very good at both. He was Hornaday's crew chief before Hornaday got the call to drive for Earnhardt. And Sedgwick said, no problem, I'll drive the thing. And he jumps out there, and he's in 4th place. He's come from 8th, and he's doing a great job.
Oh, he really is. If you notice, though, Bill has a little different line than most of them. He's up above the yellow line as they get into turn 1 and 2 here.
Ruttman's thing is working on the top. He takes the Coca-Cola Ford around the outside and back to the lead. Tough pass?
Exactly. A couple weeks ago, they took both of Ernie Irvin's trucks, the Coca-Cola trucks that Joe's driving, went to North Wilkesboro and did some testing. It's obvious they learned some things.
You can bet the owners are watching back in North Wilkes. No surprise, I suppose. A couple of Winston Cup stars own these trucks. Irvin owns the lead truck, and Earnhardt the truck running second. And for the moment, I think Ernie's got the bigger smile because his guy's pulling away a little bit. Heck of a race.
And PJ just made the pass on Ron Hornaday. It was a good move. Just drove down there and went by.
Sedgwick has a notion too. Of course, PJ is a bit of a legend for the performance here in one of the winter heat races. Broke the rear end at the break during the where they make the pit stop at mid-race. Broke the rear end, pulled in and locked up as he pulled into the pits. The crew really heroes. They changed the rear end inside in 12 minutes, got him back out, he went on to win the race. So it's one of the bits of truck lore that has already been created here in just the few races this series has run. Right with Hornaday, watching Sedgwick. Checking out that different line.
He's really trying to get up on the outside. There he goes. He's up there. Ron's a little bit lower in the turns than what the Bill is. Now he's going to try to turn down underneath him. He's really trying to get into Ron's head right now. If you understand what I'm saying, he's trying to intimidate him a little bit. I don't know that you can intimidate Ron Horner.
I got to wonder about that. If you can intimidate the protege of the intimidator, you're doing some pretty good work. I'll tell you, he's all over him, and he may get alongside him. We noticed in practice and in qualifying, he had the right wheels up over the yellow line. There's a blend line to exit the racetrack. Here's Legacy. He's doing a good job. He's hanging on to these guys. Now, this is a guy who comes out of the road racing ranks. He's an SCCA road racer by heritage, but he hooked up with Rick Hendrick, and he's done a great job.
He really has. I talked to Scott after qualifying. He started 5th. He wasn't all that happy about the way his truck was driving. They made a lot of changes, track bar, added a couple of spring rubbers, and it's obvious they went the right way.
You mentioned they were concerned they might go backward, but he's holding his own. Started 5th, he's running 5th.
The truck's owned by Billy Hess.
He got his started road racing, as we said. He hooked up with the Hendrick organization when they needed some advice about road racing, and went to him and said, how about coaching our drivers and help us work on setup? And obviously it was a match made in heaven. He's got a great ride here for the Truck Series. Back with the leaders. It has been a very competitive Racing Champions 200 here at Tucson Raceway Park. And here's a guy providing a lot of the sparks. We'll be back to see if he can pull off the pass right after this.
Raceway Park, the curse of live television. Just as we went to break, Troy Beebe tagged the wall. We'll get you an update on his shape and whether or not he's going to be able to continue at all. He's back here in the pits with me is Butch Gilliland. Butch, you still own the track record, but you're not going to break it today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Ultra Wheels custom truck, we broke a motor in practice, and we put our spare motor in it and started running warm. And we just started running warm again after we cooled it down. We didn't want to take any chances, so again, I got to thank Ultra Wheels and all my sponsors for getting us out here.
Well, Dave, these guys are keeping me too busy back here. We're running out of trucks too fast.
I'll tell you what, we got a lot of them still out there running strong, though. This was a disappointment. See how he crumpled the rear as BB backed her into the wall. That's a little different deal. We saw that truck at Phoenix with a different driver.
Yeah, John Nemechek was the chauffeur out there, and they've had some changes in the last month or so. So it looks like Troy Beebe's going to be the wheelman today.
Nemechek's going to be coming back with his own truck, I understand.
Yeah.
A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement about this series. A lot of trucks still under construction. 34 of them came here today, made qualifying attempts, and we're just about to go back to green with nice guy, number 84, sitting out front. Joe Rutman will take a driver's ride on the restart. Here we go.
Riding with Ron Hornaday. He takes the flag. He's going back down. There's a lap car there. I think he's going to pin PJ in. He's got him.
What a nice move.
Well, he hadn't completed it yet.
And Lamper's Teague, who got in trouble, spun early. He's off the pace. PJ will come out of it in third. Hornaday up around the outside. Now they're going to go 3 wide for just a moment. Sedgwick on the bottom. Got her a little sideways. Gathers it back up alongside Hornaday, but thinking about Jones.
You can run down there for a lap or two. You know, they run around under caution. Those tires cool down. You can get down to the bottom and run a lap. Bill either needs to make the pass or get back in line.
He's around Hornaday. Pulled her off. That'll put Sedgwick third. Great run for him.
That's the teacher passing the student there, right?
Well, you know, in the first Winston West race this year, they ran about 3/4 of the race together for the lead, and Sedgwick, the crew chief for Hornaday, with whom you're riding now, beat him, went on and won the race. So there's a precedent for this. Oh, look at the traffic.
They're splitting the 2 lap cars. Kerry Teague and Troy Beebe. They just did it. No problems.
Nice job. They left him room, too.
Yep.
I mean, they saw him coming. Figure, hey, these are the leaders. We're doing our own thing. We'll let them do their own thing. But Hornaday didn't have the same success, and so they're going to get away from it.
I tell you, sometimes sitting at home, you think, well, those guys are in their way. Look, they're doing all they can do right now to hang on to what they're driving.
How do you make that call? I mean, you look in your mirror, you see them coming. When do you decide, well, I need to move over a little bit? When do you say, hey, I paid the same entry fee he did?
Well, you know, you got to let the leaders go. If you're holding them up or your truck is really loose or pushing or whatever, it looks like Troy's got a lot of damage to the back there. He just needs to move over, let them go, get to halfway, work on it, and try to come back and make the lap up.
We got our first glimpse here of the High Plains Drifter. Number 6 is right behind this pair as they do battle. That is Sedgwick. Hustling around with PJ, making yet another pass. Sedgwick is definitely the truck on the move, but while he's doing his business, the leader is getting away. Rutman has opened up a substantial advantage on the field. You get glimpses of number 6. There he is, Rick Corelli, a man who in his career has won half the feature races he's run by reputation. 800 main events, he's won 400 of them. He's alongside Legacy of the race for 5th.
He's made the pass. Oh, we got a wreck.
Butch Miller's involved.
John, Troy Beebe.
Troy Beebe again.
Mark Gibson.
It looks like Gibson right there in the middle of it. And I wonder the way he was having trouble with that truck after he spun it before, if it might have been triggered by Beebe, but we hate to speculate about that. Bad news for Butch Miller. Won the ASA championship last year and is now taking his try at truck racing. And the damage there to the number 30 of Mark Gibson. It was a late entry here today. Looks like Butch got out of it pretty good shape.
Not too bad a shape. Ray Best is Ford Credit Ricard Police F-150. Looks like maybe, I don't know if Butch got help.
First guy we saw spun, so maybe he started it. Here they come. Arriving late on the scene is Gibson. Looked like he might have just been a victim of circumstances. Not much room to get through there.
It's Jerry Churchill coming down to the bottom to miss him.
Big Jer. You see those trucks running down the highway, say Churchill Trucking on the side? That's how Jerry pays for his race truck. Butch Miller took a shot at Winston Cup racing and told me a couple of 3 years ago, he said, you know, give me a shop full of aluminum and fiberglass and I can build a race car. And I just don't know how to put this steel stuff together. I can't run a welder. And he thinks maybe that was one of the problems in Winston Cup racing. Here's your running order. It is Rutman leading Sedgwick.
A lot of damage there on the 30 truck, Mark Gibson.
Gibson's going to have a tough time. He'll be struggling. It looks like Beebe may call it a day here. So we'll take a quick break and come back with more of the action. As predicted, it's been a wild one so far, and we're just 76 laps into the 200. Be back. We're live, we're racing, and we've got a brand new leader, or do we? Dave Despain with Elton Sawyer.